So you're going to take your sheet of 11 by 14 paper, and I've already gridded it out so that you guys can all see. This is how I want you to grid it out, and I will tell you how to grid it out. So this, I'm going to upload this at some point onto the YouTube channel, and you guys can watch it again, but in case you're wondering. So how this works is, I tried to maximize the paper so that you get the most swatches per page. You will get 35 swatches per page. You need 120. How many pages do you need? 4. Make it more. So it'd be 35, 35, so it's like 140. So it'd be close to, it'd be a little over 120. 4 pages of swatches, you're fine, right? How do you do this? First of all, you don't use a ruler this small, but you measure down 1 inch all the way down like that, and just draw lines in between them. In fact, I think that's what we might do today, is I'll just have you guys draw the grid, because that's a pain in the ass and it's boring. I am going to show you how to do the painting, and I will show you again as many times as you need me to. But maybe I think that'll be for today's, by the time we're done. For today, I'll just ask you to grid it out. Grid out all your 4 pages, and then that'll take a good 10-15 minutes, and then we'll go after I'm done with the whole demo. So you're going to measure down 1 inch, and I can be here with you to show you that. You're going to measure in 1/2 inch, okay, to give you a little room, because there needs. Does somebody have a pencil? Have that pencil? We're just slide it. That was awesome, and it's it's immortalized forever. It's a pen, right? Yeah. For me, I don't. For this, I don't care. Okay. But the reason you're doing this is the swatches. You're painting every other square. So you're going to measure down all these lines. Dun 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 dun. Then you're going to move in 1/2 inch, and then go 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch. By the time you're done, you have a grid. You don't want to paint this one, okay? Each of the swatches needs to have 4 clean sides all the way around it, like that, okay? So I have not marked them in the middle, because the paint can be transparent, and you will be able to see through that, and you'll see this big X, on your swatch, and you don't want to do that. So I've marked them with little arrows on the sides, like that. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 every other inch, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I got 35 per page, and I have room around all of them. So if I'm painting this one, I've got room around it. If I'm painting this one, I've got room around it. That's what you need to do. And there's a reason why, and I'm not going to bother telling you why. Trust me. But they can't be next to each other, and they can't be on the edge. Any edge. They can't be on the right or left. Can't be on the top and bottom. Clear? Okay. This is your paint. Why am I wearing gloves? Because I'm obsessive compulsive? Well, yes, that would be true. But also because to open these, it's messy. A little bit. Because this is not tube paint where you just open a tube. So this is your Liquitex. Looks like this, all right? Okay. And what you want to do is, you want to, which one's, this is the full one, I think. I'll start with the white. When they're brand new, as all of yours probably are, when these things are brand new, you need, it pops off, okay? The top goes like, just pop it off, okay? It's not a screw top, it pops off. This is a screw top. And there is that thing that gets in the way. And when you peel it off, it's always a mess. I would normally use a knife, but this is less of a knife. Palette knife's good for this sort of thing. Just don't cut yourself. There we go. And see, it's like, oh no, he got paint in his fingers. There. Done. Okay. Now you put the top back on, screw it down tight, keep this on, snap it closed like that. Okay. You have white, you have black. And this is now. In the past, I have been more of a stickler about you guys using this to mix paint. I don't think it really is that necessary, but I will show you how to do it anyway, all right? So, palette knife, and see already I got like paint all over everything. That was good. Okay. Let's pull that closer. Down, yeah, down like that, okay. So, this is what you should do. okay? Don't try to paint these in order. Don't be like, okay, it's going to be white, and then when I get to the 4th page, the last one will be black. Don't even try to do that, okay? Just leave it alone. Just paint whatever you need to paint. Just make sure at the end you have me take a look at it, because I can tell if you've got enough of one or the other, enough lights, enough mediums, enough blacks. So it has this wonderful little tip, unlike tube paint, where you can put out very small amounts. You just squeeze it a little bit. Look at that. Okay, so you won't waste paint unnecessarily. It won't pour out. See? You have to squeeze it or nothing will come out. So the first thing you want to do is paint your white swatch. Might as well get it over with. All right. So you should put out probably about, something like about that much. And I just wipe the top of it off like that. Okay. Now, your brush. Water. That's about, don't have at least 3 inches of water, regardless of the size of the cup. Have about that much water in it. I normally wet the brush, okay, and then I don't just wipe it, I squeeze it dry. I just want it barely damp. So I'm not just going like this, I'm squeezing it like this, like hard, Iron Man, right? So that keeps it damp, but just barely. So it keeps the paint from being streaky. For those that haven't painted before, this is how you load a brush, okay? There's the paint. You scrape some off like this, turn it around, put some more on. That's how you keep it vertical. That's how you load a brush with paint. How do you paint it? Like this. This is how I would like you to paint it. It keeps it from being streaky, okay? You get it down quickly, like that. And see, can you see how transparent it is? He said zooming in. Well, yeah, they're like, you can see the pencil marks through it still. So that's why, but that's okay, because the borders of the 1-inch pencil mark, you will not see when you finally assemble these things. I recommend you do it like this. You'll note I am not pressing down hard at all, okay? I just put the paint down and I drag the brush like, I'm barely holding it. It's like, don't press down. Done. Okay. Next. Okay. Black. Pop the top off. I'm going to put, now this is what I do. I put a little black over here, not a lot. Black is much stronger as a pigment than the white pigment is. So a little goes a long way. So don't burn through all your black. If you want to mix it with a palette knife, you may. This is how you do that. Okay. You scrape it like it's butter, okay? You just scrape up a little bit like that. See? And then you add it to the white like this. And look how gray it gets so quickly. That is not your first gray. So you have to be really gentle. And I spread the paint around, okay? Am I stirring it? No. Am I poking it? No. Am I chopping it? No. You're buttering it like toast or cake icing. That's really what you're pushing it down, scraping it. You can hear that, right? Okay. Smooth it out so it's not streaky. That looks good. Okay. When you're done using the palette knife, mixing something, in the water. Because if this paint dries on that, it's really hard to get off. And you've not wrecked the palette knife, but just be careful. When in doubt, put your knife and your brush in the water. I'm not doing it yet because I know how long this paint takes to dry and it's not going to be a problem yet. So now I have this light gray. I'm going to go in. Did I clean the brush? Not really, because all I'm doing is mixing grays. I just don't want them to be streaky. So again, I'm loading the brush and I do them in one direction, just like the band. And stop, okay? Don't overwork the paint. Like, just put it down like that, and it will stay shiny for a while. And you guys will, oh my God, it's so shiny. It's like, don't worry. When it finally dries, it will be matte and really beautiful. But you don't have to keep going, over. Some people really like it because it's a soft brush and the paint's really gentle. It's like, oh, this feels so good. And this is, frankly, we joke about it, this is the hard part about teaching this, is I'm showing you how to do this. And you can watch this video, forever. But there is no substitute for how it feels. And there's a way you will just develop a tactile sense of when the paint's too dry, when it's too thick, when it's too thick, you will just know. But I cannot teach that to you. You have to do it through experience. I can't say it feels like this, because I don't even know. I just do it. Yeah, and so you will learn too. And that's how you start, and that's how you keep going. Please don't do this, okay? Some students get really crazy. So if you wanted to try adding just like, that palette knife, pain in the ass, I don't want to do that. If you just want to add paint in, like just using the brush, that's okay. Just make sure it's thoroughly mixed so it's not streaky. And that's the danger with this paint, is it can get streaky. You put a little more in, make it a little darker. So I don't care. If you want to do it this way, that's fine too. Yeah, it's a darker gray. Let's make it a little darker, just so it's real clear and you can see. Okay. You note I turned the brush over, like that, just nice and smooth. Just not too many strokes. Stop while it's still wet. Done. Please don't try to do this. It's not necessary. And the brush is too big anyway. Like, really? Why? Also, you need to be able to smooth it more than once to smooth the paint out. Okay, like that. You may think, I'm just going to keep going. I don't care what Cole says. There's a point at which you will not have enough paint on the brush, and that will happen. Okay, so always make sure you don't let the brush dry out or have too much crap in it.